You see, too often people are in these toxic relationships, continuing with them for years on end simply because they're reliving the same pains that their parent gave them as a child just so they can heal from it. And I know it sounds so unfair. I know it sounds so awfully unfair that we go through these traumatic pains in life, only for life to bring back more of those traumatic, painful things. Just because I got this message that I'm unworthy as a child doesn't mean I need to live my entire life feeling unworthy now. And if the wound is still inside of you, you will be attracted to reliving those experiences again. Hey guys, welcome to Disrupt Your Norm. My name is Naomi Dunn. I'm an inner work coach. This is Disrupt Your Norm, where I help you disrupt your current norm to help bring you to a better norm. This is probably the 5th time I've tried filming a video, and they all just didn't seem to align with what I feel like I'm supposed to talk about today. So today, if you're listening on the podcast, the thumbs up just keeps popping on the screen. Yep, there it is again. Today, I'm speaking on... Which topic am I going to do? I've been speaking on so many for the past 30 minutes. Life patterns. That's it. We're talking about life patterns today. Okay. That's what we're talking about today. Life patterns, or essentially lessons that show up almost like patterns because they continuously show up in the same way but in different forms. So maybe this is a relationship for you. Maybe this is a job. Maybe this is friendships. Whatever it may be, if there is something that you haven't resolved in your life, if there is an issue, if there is a trauma, if there is some sort of negative thing that hasn't been resolved in your life, and your body, your soul, your mind all wants to resolve it, it will continue to show up in your life until you do. Now, this is super common. We often see women and men getting into relationships that seem to be the same relationships but with different people each and every time. The same toxicity, the same abuse, the same difficulties that came from the last relationship, but in another person. Okay, this may be you, this may be someone you know. We all know somebody who has experienced this and who's experienced it often for a really, 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 really long time. And then we see the people who end up in the same kinds of jobs, in the same kinds of friendships, in the same situations in life that are all negative, that all have something about it that make you think, this is very similar to the last job I had. This is very similar to my coworker dynamic that I had. This is very similar to the negative friendship I had. This is very similar to the way my other friend used to gossip about me. This is very similar to the way my past partner used to manipulate me. This is very similar to the way that I begin a task or begin a new thing and it always ends the same way. This is very similar. And it's similar and it's not coincidental. None of it is coincidental. It's similar for a reason. It's similar because it's mirroring back to you something that you didn't fix the last time. And so this time, the body wants you to fix it again. Your soul wants you to fix it. The toxic patterns, these toxic relationships you've had in the past that you didn't end feeling and knowing that, no, I am not continuing this. I have enough worth to know that I'm not going to go to a partner who will do the same things to me again. No, I don't actually want to relive the same pains that my father gave me or that my mother gave me that is still in my body and continuing to live out until I say enough is enough. No, I don't think I want to relive these toxic friendships where they gossip about me, where they speak behind my back, where they backstab me, where they do all these cruel things to me. I don't want to relive that in my next friendship just because I had this friendship when I was 8 years old and I was a best friend. They did all these horrible things to me and I got this message in my brain that I'm the kind of person who has these kinds of friendships. I'm the kind of person who doesn't deserve better friendships. When you see the pattern and you say enough is enough, That's when the pattern stops. When you have such an emotional conviction that you say in your mind and you fully decide, full body decision, that I am no longer going to live my life with these relationships, with these money patterns, with these friendship patterns, with these job patterns. See, the biggest part of changing these life lessons and going on to the different path, a path that's not about you just trying to relive it in order to fix it, a path where you have fixed it and you are with the people you're supposed to be with, at the jobs you're supposed to be at, doing the things you're supposed to do. That comes from seeing it for what it is. When you see it for what it is and you decide enough is enough, which comes from an extreme emotional conviction in the moment and a knowing that you're worth more than this, you get to have more than this, and life doesn't have to be this way. When you experience that, that's when you'll notice the patterns change. You see, too often people are in these toxic relationships, continuing with them for years on end simply because they're reliving the same pains that their parent gave them as a child just so they can heal from it. When we have these wounds inside of us that we have not healed, that we have not recognized, that we have not said enough is enough, I am done, I'm never doing that again, I'm never experiencing that again, I'm never allowing that for myself again. When that happens, you are repulsed by the idea of experiencing it again. If you don't recognize it, and if the wound is still inside of you, you will be attracted to reliving those experiences again. So this is why we have to look back. If you just got out of a relationship, if you just had a friendship breakup, if you just got out of a job, if you just experienced the same painful situation that seems to be this continuous pattern that you've had for the longest time, look at it and ask, write it down, figure out what is the thing that keeps showing up. And maybe ask yourself, where did this come from? Why do I believe I have to live this way? What does this show about my self-worth? Who said I have to do this? Am I deciding that I have to live this way? Why am I deciding I have to live this way? Is this mimicking something that happened to me in childhood? Is this mimicking the thing that happened with my parent? Is this mimicking the traumatic experience I had as a child? And I know it sounds so unfair. I know it sounds so awfully unfair that we go through these traumatic pains in life, only for life to bring back more of those traumatic, painful things. I know it seems so unfair. And it can absolutely feel that way. It can feel so overwhelming. And it can feel like, why me? Why me, right? But it looks unfair. But it's truly one of the best things that could happen to us. Reliving our pains that we haven't dealt with is often the only way for us to snap out of it, see it for what it is, heal from it once and for all. And the reason it seems like it almost happens back to back to back to back is because your body, your soul, God knows that if you don't heal from it now, that pain in your body is going to continue and continue and continue and continue until you end it, until you see it for what it is, until you say enough is enough. So what if these continuous painful things that keep happening to you, these continuous patterns in your relationships, all of them, what if they're happening to you for you so that you can see it for what it is, change it, and no longer live a life with that pain inside of you, with that trauma inside of you? The only reason you continuously relive the pain in different people and different situations is because you're supposed to finally see it for what it is. It's like a ball being thrown at you. Hey, snap out of it. Learn from it this time. Hey, snap out of it. Heal from it this time. Hey, snap out of it. See the ball that's coming at you. Catch the ball and get rid of it, right? Get rid of it. Stop allowing that ball to be thrown at you. Stop allowing these bad situations to keep happening, these bad relationships, these toxic friendships, whatever it may be. Stop allowing it by catching the ball, seeing that it's there, seeing that it's being thrown at you, seeing that this painful thing keeps happening to you, but you have every ability to catch it and to end it and to look at it and to see it and say, you know what? I'm not deserving of this anymore. I don't need to continue these toxic relationship patterns. Just because my father did this to my mother doesn't mean need to allow men to do this to me. Just because I got this message that I'm unworthy as a child doesn't mean I need to live my entire life feeling unworthy now and going into situations replicating the idea that I'm unworthy. Why is that why would I believe that? Why would I need to believe that's true? Why would I need to continue my life knowing that? And when you see that, that's when everything changes. So please look back. Look back at your relationships. Look back at your jobs. Look back at your situations. Look back at the really painful moments of your life where you felt like you were never going to get through it, but somehow that situation happened again in another form, in another way. If you can't think of the situation, what is the dominant feeling coming up in your life? Is it shame? Is it unworthiness? What is this dominant feeling that seems to continuously come up in all sorts of situations that feels too much to bear? And often when it feels too much to bear, it's because you've been bearing it way too long, and it's like a glass and you're pouring water in. It's getting to the top. You've buried it for too long. What is that feeling? And why do you think you need to feel it? Or what is the first memory you have of feeling that gave you the idea that you're worthy of this feeling and you need to continue it throughout your life? Ask yourself questions. See it for what it is. And don't cultivate this idea that it's going to take you years once you see it to get rid of it. No. Instantaneous decisions are often the cause of the most dramatic shifts in your life. But those instantaneous decisions of deciding I'm not going to live this way anymore, I'm not going to go towards these people anymore, I'm not going to be attracted to this type of situation anymore, I'm worth more than that, I get to have more than that. Those happen first by seeing it for what it is and being sick of it and saying enough is enough. I am done. No more. I'm done with this. I have one life on this earth. Am I really going to continue living with this belief in my mind that I have to live it by living out experiences that make me feel like absolute crap, that make me feel so unworthy, that make me feel so less than? Am I really going to live my life continuing experiences that make me feel this very familiar feeling that I feel like I have to repeat because this is the story I received as a child, that I'm supposed to have this feeling forever? Who said and why? Why do I have to accept that to be true? Why do I have to live that way? What is it doing for my life? What is it doing for my future family? And that is one of the most powerful ways to instantaneously shift out of these painful patterns that keep showing up. And when they show up again, which they very well, after you make the decision, they very often show up again, almost like a little test. Are you really going to say no this time? Are you really going to say no to dating that partner? Are you really going to say no to that job offer that seems fantastic, but you know it's going to relive the same things that happened before? Are you really going to say no? And when you do, you get this confidence, you get this feeling, oh yeah, I can say no. I can continue life without doing this thing again, experiencing this thing again. I can. If this doesn't resonate with you now, if you just listen to this whole video and it doesn't resonate with you now, I promise you it will resonate one day. You're going to realize it. You're going to see it for yourself and go, whoa, I remember when Naomi said this thing about life lessons, and it's literally showing up for me now, because it happens to everybody. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Everything is happening for your good. Everything is happening for you. This is all happening for you to heal, for you to become a better version of yourself. I have a video on that I would really recommend watching after this, that may encourage you if you're feeling down about your life situations, that everything is happening for you. I'll put it on the screen for you to watch. All my coaching information is down below. If you have any questions, you can email me. That will be also down below. And I really appreciate you guys. I really appreciate your comments. It means so much to me. And I thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.